Alright, now we're doing 7Q Simple Moon Rating. This is my Mortify, and 90% of the people like it. When we look at movie ratings, we usually see it as decimal numbers representing average of all viewers' votes. While it's very informative, it's not very visually appealing. That's what stars, or in our case, moons, were created for. Alright? Our task is to transform decimal number ratings, which is in the range 0 to 10, into 5 moon scales. Our rating should be rounded to 0.5, nearest half moon, and the input is always valid, alright? So basically it's going to be in this syntax. There's going to be O's and then a C for a half moon. These are the full moons, these are the half moons, and these are the no moons right here. We're given the following values preloaded, and they're not going to look like moons. Well, we'll see all this stuff. Alright, so let's start off right here, and we're going to start off with declaring an initial value. We're going to say let result equal empty string. All right. After that, we're going to do a for loop, because we're going to be iterating through. We're going to be making something like this, iterating through these numbers in a nice little way. Let me show you. So for let index equals 0. All right. And while index is less than 5, all right, it would be, or less than or equal to 4, you know, so less than whatever's after all these x's. We're going to say index plus plus and iterate through. All right. After that, we're going to do an if statement. We're going to say if rating is greater than or equal to 1.5, we're going to say result less equal an O. Alright, that's not O. O. And basically down here you can see here 1.5 is rounded up to a full moon. So this would equal like 0.75 on the 5-point scale. And so basically 0.75 rounds up to 1, and booyakasha right there. So now we're going to say if rating is greater than or equal to 0.5, 0.5, there we go. We're going to say result plus equals C, okay? And basically this is just to check whatever the last one is and throw a C there if it's a 0.5, if 0.5 is left, all right? Hopefully that makes sense. If, one more time, we're going to say down here, if rating, excuse me, no, we're just going to do an else. My bad. Else, we're going to do result plus equals X, all right? And here's the fun part right here. Once it checks it, like if, let's say it's 3.9, right? Checks it. What we're going to do there, so that we can go to the next space, we're going to say rating minus equals a 2, just like that. So now, let's say it's this 8.7. So we're checking 8.7, throw an O there. Now we're checking 6.7. Throw an O there. Now we're checking 4.7, throw an O, 2.7, throw an O, 0.7, it's rounded down to 0.5, throw a C there, and boom, we got it, all right? And now what we're going to do is the good old-fashioned return result. Let's see what happens. That looks good to me. 6 milliseconds. Let's go to the attempt to see what how many milliseconds we got. 52 milliseconds, okay? Is that good? I don't know. Let's remember that, because right now we're going to do a little more concise way, because that is a lot of typing, all right? So we're going to say const here. We're going to say equals. We're going to keep this rating. Oh, where's the equals at? We're going to keep this rating in here. We're going to actually do a little thing. We're going to do, first, let's do this first. Throw the arrow there so we don't forget. But inside here, let's get rid of this stuff. Inside here, we're going to declare a variable, okay? I just found out about this today. We can say G equals, and we're going to be using, what is it, Math.round. Let me do that, Math.round. And we're going to be using Math.round, which that function returns the value of a number rounded to the nearest integer, okay? So we're going to say Math.round, and then we're going to say rating, all right? That way we don't have to do it, we don't have to type this out every time, all right? Because we're going to need to use this. So now, here we're going to use a template literal. So template literals, JavaScript, right here. Template literals are literals delimited with backtick characters, okay, allowing for, in this case, string interpolation with embedded expressions, all right? So we're going to be using, here's the backtick characters here, and they're going to just put a string here, and then we're going to use these embedded expressions, which are little objects with, what is this? With objects with expressions in them with dollar signs in front of them, just to, that's how it goes, all right? So first off, backtick characters. Then let's set up the skeleton of this. We're going to say dollar sign, curly braces, dollar sign, curly braces. And then we're going to say XXXXX, right, like that, okay? Now inside here, inside this first one, we're going to say, if we're going to say O, or excuse me, we're going to say string O dot repeat. Believe it or not, we're going to repeat this O a number of times. Let me show you what repeat is. Repeat. All right. Repeat method constructs and returns a new string which contains a specified number of copies of the strings of the string on which it was called. So you put, it's just going to go as many times as we want it to. And the amount of times we want it to on this one is G divided by 2. So it's this Math.round rating divided by 2. That way it'll take it from the 10 point to the 5 point, all right? And now to take care of these C's, these half moons, we're going to do the same thing over here, C dot repeat. And since this is going to be taken care of, what's left is going to be either a 0.5 or a 0. So we're going to say, no, is that what the deal is? I think it's going to be either like a 1 or a... Anyway, let me get this done. I'll try to think about it. So we're going to say G remainder operator 2, and whatever's going to be left here is going to be either a 1 or a 0, okay? And so it's going to either put a C or not put a C, and then the rest is just the X's. And now, like, let's say it's a 10, and we've got these 5 X's after it, so we're going to have 5 O's and 5 X's. To get rid of these X's, we're going to use slice. Okay, let me do the slice method right here. Slice method returns a shallow copy of a portion into an array into a new array object selected from start to end not included. Anyway, then we don't have to worry about that. What we're going to worry about, actually I guess we do. But what we're going to worry about is this right here. We're going to do like 1 to 5 or whatever. So we're going to say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it's not going to take 5 because the end's not included, all right? So on this one, what we're going to say, because also the 5's not included, we're going to say dot slice, and we're going to say from 0, from the first index to the 4th index. First to the 5th index, yes, okay. So it's going to go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 outside of it, which is not included, so it's going to take all these, or whatever. However many X's it needs to take off to leave 5 in the end. And let's see if this works. There we go, 8 milliseconds. What was the first one? 52, right? Let's see which one's faster. This one's faster. All right, submit it. Very much like this one. Let's go to My Solutions over here. Best practice, in my opinion, just me. And we'll see you next time.